Hello, welcome to BOAR'D Hunts Hunting Tips. I'm Michael Grandstaff. Okay, today I'm going to talk about hunting the timber. There's one major factor that plays a role whether or not I personally will hunt the timber or not. I'll generally go into the timber when there is no wind at all, simply because hunting the open fields the way I generally enjoy hunting coyotes, they tend not to even bother going out in the open fields because without a wind, they just do not respond well when there's no wind. Now, hunting in the timber, I've noticed that they feel a whole lot braver in the timber and will approach a predator call without no fear at all, and my success rate in the timber has skyrocketed in between being a wind and no wind at all. I'll still hunt the timbers from time to time when there's a wind, but my success rate's pretty low simply because inside the timber, the wind does tend to circle around in there, and it's just a harder hunt for you. Now, let's switch to some images right quick, and I'm going to show you how I go and approach hunting timber.
We're back using Google Earth again, and we're scouting out a location that I've hunted quite a few times. And what I would like to share with you is how I approach a piece of property before I even go into the timber. One thing that I'm looking for is open timber, and I'll show you an image of the particular type of timber that I like to use. But what I like to do is just barely get into the timber for a couple of reasons. One reason, I don't want to walk around in the timber and scare off anything that could be bedded down. Number two is that I know that nothing really wants to walk out here and expose itself. Okay, especially remember there's no wind, and even if there is a little wind, the chances are they're going to come up on you, especially being in the timber. But that's another reason I like to hunt the timber with no wind, because I don't really have to worry about behind me. Now I'm going to set up in this corner, and I've pretty much well cut this block of timber off to where I'm only expecting something pretty much in front of me. And I'm not going to turn the call up very loud at all. If your call maxes out at the number 20, I wouldn't go over 10, much over halfway. And that way I can take advantage of calling this set of timber 2 different times. I can call this half over here. I'm going to move down about another 300, 400 yards, and then I'm going to make another set in this block of timber. If you find yourself calling too loud in the timber, you're just going to run everything off. Now, switching images, I want to give you an idea of the type of timber that I like to hunt in. As you'll notice, it's not opened up like a park, but it's not just a real heavy thicket either. What I like to do when approaching the field like this right here, set of timber that is, I like to put my call out in front of me approximately 10-15 yards. And if you'll notice the background right here, of course this is another image, kind of open timber but not just real thick. I can't see but about 30 yards, and I've got my call out 10-15 yards in front of me for a very good reason. By the time a cow comes through that thick stuff and enters into that opening right there, if he doesn't like what he sees, well, it's too late, because I was able to see him the same time he seen me, and I'm able to harvest that cow. This is my harvest area right in here. I like to hunt timber with a 12 gauge shotgun myself. It just penetrates this thicker stuff that you see around the edges, and that's generally where a bobcat's going to end up sitting down, just where he can barely see the e-collar and the decoy going at the same time. I don't have a cat just come all the way in very often to a collar, and like I say, he'll sit down right there at the edge of that thick stuff, and a shotgun will penetrate that just fine. Now a cow, you're going to get a double, maybe even a triple from time to time, and they're going to come running in really fast. If they don't like what they see, they're going to turn around and they're going to leave just as fast. Again, if they can see that e-collar and the decoy at 50 or 60 yards anywhere in that timber, then you're basically hurting yourself. Make sure when they enter your open harvest area, it's right there between 30 and 40 yards. That's a consistent knockdown power of a 12 gauge shotgun.
Now, good luck with this tip. I hope it brings you a lot of luck.